We have about 20 acres left up there off of Copper Basin Road. And then also we have about 174 acres up there off of Sun Butte Road. So crews are going to try and get out there and hopefully get some of these piles burned up through Friday. Because what we can do is it's a slow burn, doesn't put up as much smoke, and the moisture in the ground keeps the fire contained to those piles, and we can get them burned up and not really have to worry about it spreading to other areas.
Currently, there's about 62 parking spaces there. We're talking about adding about 114 more, as well as a couple of ramadas that could be for rent, as well as also some individual day use areas with a picnic table and a grill, typically from Memorial Day to Labor Day especially, so this will allow more people to enjoy the lake. To engineer and design the first two phases is approximately $88,000.
We've heard of this happening before, not so much up here at either of our Walmarts, but we've heard of it happening at different locations throughout the state, to where they just fill a cart and try to get out without getting caught. They walk through the store, pick what they wanted, all kinds of different things from food to clothing to electronics, and walked out when it was busy. Ms. Isbon and Mr. Brandon were taken to the Prescott Police Department for questioning and processing. Both were taken to Yavapai County Jail. When they arrived, she kicked an officer, causing a slight injury to his shin. She also tried to run from the jail intake area, but was caught almost immediately.
During its request for additional units, 4 of those inside and the driver, for a total of 5, fled and ran into the adjacent area. The deputy was able to contain the remaining group. The rear suspension had been modified to include very large air shocks and a bumper-mounted filler valve for those shocks, and then non-stock heavy-duty pickup tires on the rear, too, to kind of displace the weight.
It's to look at a consultant who knows and understands how to talk with communities and kind of see what the capacity is and maybe do some surveys and that type of thing and figure out what the possibilities are within a community. You look at state funding and see if that gives enough capacity for a school district to operate. And, we've kind of been frozen or losing money for the past 5 years, and so we're still trying to provide the best education for our students. It's not quite considering whether the district will go for an election at this time. That's being studied by a group of community members. This would be a piece to that. Well, I think the district is in a place where the board has asked administration to look into bond and override. I think that was asked a couple months ago, so there's a committee right now looking at those things, a couple of community committees that are looking at those options and the needs in the district and that type of thing.